aren't even that
Kaiserklein
far
versus
yet.
Prince. Aztec Mirror right off the bat. These guys are going to duke it out in this native tournament. Um, Spawning here in the right portion of the map in the color green is a PrinceofKabul, and his opponent, also playing Aztecs in the color blue, is Kaiserklein. So this is a 300 wood start too. I like it. It's going to give both players quite a few options.
Yeah, perhaps we will see an early market, especially with the beaver coins, coin treasures, which seem to be around the town center on this map. At least for PrinceofKabul, I see two of them next to his town center. So I think a market start would be quite okay here. Of course, you also do the fire pit and a house, so you can't really do a trade post unless you chop a lot of wood. Okay, yep. So it looks like you want to do a restart. I guess that's fine.
We'll ask the players what they think. I think it's maybe a little better for all the viewers. My bad. We'll have to see whether or not we get...
Well, no problem. We are still gathering viewers, so I guess it's fine.
You will be able... You're in charge of YouTube. You'll be able to edit that out.
Definitely, yeah. Well, that's the thing. We can just do a new introduction when you green up this time. So, just so that the video needs like a good start and not just that the game that you see the loading screen and that's the start of a YouTube video. That's just a kind of a bad way to start a YouTube video.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, Kaiser going to take a quick minute here. Maybe, not sure what he's gonna do in that minute, but we'll see. UI has been installed, rest assured.
All right, great.
All right. And for your information as well, I know that I have edited the colors and they've become all strange. Your red is actually my green. So
yeah, I was wondering why you said in the color green, but
throwing you a little curveball right there.
That's okay, as long as we can use the player names at some point. Then
exactly. Alrighty, going into this game number 1 of the series, quarterfinals of Kaiserklein versus PrinceofKabul. In this native tournament, they elected to go for an Aztec mirror right off the bat.
Yeah, an Aztec mirrors. I don't think I've seen a mirror matchup too many times in the first matchup of the best of sevens. So that's quite interesting. I mean, it's best of 7. Yeah. So that's definitely something I like to see. We do have seen the Aztecs mirror quite a lot on the map Indonesia, I believe.
Yeah, we see it
just standard tournaments. Yeah, just because it's a very short rush distance on that map, and sometimes they just don't want to play water on Indonesia, and they just want to rush each other, and that's basically how it goes down. 2 people both build a warhead in the center of the map, and
yeah, that is true. We see the Aztec mirror all the time on Indonesia, but introducing the players who have now switched spawning positions. We have Kaiserklein playing Aztec in the blue over to the east of the map, and his opponent PrinceofKabul playing in green, also Aztec. And check this out. 95 wood being picked up right off the bat.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a shame that it's not a 300 wood start this time, so they get 100 coin. So there's not going to be an option for a trade post, even with the 95 wood. It's going to be very hard to implement that. So looks like Prince is going for a market, and Kaiserklein is just going to leave the coin on the floor and not do anything with it, at least at this point. He did gather a nice little army here with 2 dogs. So even when Prince has got the outlaw rifleman, he should be able to do some decent damage with his army.
Yeah, no kidding. And hey, look at this. He's going. It looks like he's posturing to take this Iroquois. Oh yeah, Tomahawk. There he goes.
Yeah, and he's not even like attacking it with his own hero. He's just walking around so he doesn't get damaged so much, and definitely doing a nice job. But here comes Prince.
Prince is going in there, and I believe that Prince managed to take it out. He may even take out the Explorer. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's pretty huge. Oh, there the Kaiserklein got it. Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
So,
and he gets away. Prince, look at that.
Yeah, Prince does get away because Kaiserklein's hero only got 9 HP left. So it would mean Prince would kill Kaiserklein's hero just before he would get killed. So
yeah,
I think it's a wise decision for Kaiserklein not to lose his hero here. It's not necessary.
Yeah, and he damn it, yeah, well, he got pretty lucky on that end. That's pretty good. And you know what? I think that Kaiserklein kind of came out on top there. He has the stronger Age 1 army. He has an explorer that he can still work with to gather treasures. And
yeah, exactly. And it has not lost a single unit of the army he's gathered so far. So
yeah, he just has all the tools. Oh wow!
Look at this. He even sent a villager forward and tried to like snipe off the hero, but it gathered a little bit of HP, so might even lose his own hero.
He may. He has to run straight back to that town center, and this Age 1 army can actually take out. Wow, look at that. 1 HP left. That is 1 hit, and the Tomahawk takes him out.
Yeah. And like, even if he gathered villagers, I don't think he could save his hero. And even then, he wasn't even aging yet, so it would mean a lot of delay for his age up. And that can be a lot more devastating than just losing your hero. So
no, absolutely. And now look at this, harassing the fire pit.
Yeah, but now he has to get out because of this town center fire, of course. So
no kidding. Oh, the Tomahawk does go down. Both players have pretty much aged up at this point. PrinceofKabul actually a little late due to that market start, right?
Yeah, of course. And I don't think he's got any... Kaiserklein even got a 40 food treasure, which also helped him. And a 70 food later on. So...
yeah, that is true.
Not a really fast age up for Prince. Building a house now, and... I think he will wait for 700 wood until he builds his first war hut.
Yeah, and that's a slower thing. You know, Kaiserklein put it down almost immediately. He has sent 700 wood. What is he going to do with this? That's what we're looking at, and it looks like just a strong pressure play right off the bat.
There are going to be 3 warrior priests for PrinceofKabul out, and not 700 wood, so he's not going to have a war hut anytime soon. I mean, he isn't even chopping wood.
He's going to get blindsided by this. He has no idea that this war hut is in the middle of the map.
I mean, he should have an idea, I guess, since Kaiser just ate so quickly and he had the H1 advantage. Maybe he's going for building like the warriors out of the fire pit. Or that's actually not a thing Aztecs can make, can they? Only maybe the Iroquois and Sioux can like train the Minutemen from the fire pit.
I'm actually unsure of that. But in any case, Prince may be dealing with. Oh, look at that! He's actually put villagers on the fire pit.
Okay, so he's now sending 700 wood. Oh, he's building another warrior priest. There it is. There's his 5th warrior priest. So that's okay, I guess.
That's pretty interesting, I guess. But then again, it looks like Kaiserklein is not electing for a super fast rush, but more like a timing in the near future. So I guess this gives Prince some time to be a little greedy early on, but is he going to have his defenses up in time for this timing push out of Kaiserklein? That's what I'm worried about. We'll have to see how that pans out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Kaiserklein sent 600 wood right after 700 wood, so he's got a lot of wood to build units with. He's only gathering the food up, and he should be able to do quite a decent timing. Now even 10 maces out. So let's see how Prince will hold this with just his town center and warhead.
Yeah, no kidding. The warchief goes down almost immediately, and actually attacking with the warrior priests.
Okay, so that's interesting
That's
because I mean he spent a lot of villager seconds training those warrior priests, and I think just straight up attacking with them is not cost effective in any way.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it, but it looks like he managed to avoid losing. He lost actually no units in that exchange.
Well, he
Surprisingly
lost
enough,
some warrior priests.
did he?
Yeah, it doesn't show up
Oh, does it not show up on the UI? Got it.
in the UI because I definitely saw 2 warrior priest bodies on the ground.
Yes,
I believe.
so did I.
Or
It looks like
doesn't he?
it's like a little brain fart out of me right there. But yeah, looks like round number 2 is coming up here, and Prince still has very, very few units on the field to deal with this.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what his plan is because even if he were to like age up or something after this, he still needs a lot more hunts in his base. Okay, 5 coyote are now out. That is an interesting shipment.
Yeah, no kidding. 5 coyote, especially in this situation. I feel like the puma may have been slightly better, but then again, Kaiserklein has put out all 3 unit types on the field, so his army is very safe. Whereas
Yeah,
PrinceofKabul,
definitely.
look at this engagement.
I mean, the Pumas are even sieging down a house during the fight, and there's Kaiser's still winning quite hard here, I think. Okay, so he does have the warriors from the fire priest bit. They have quite a decent attack, 26 attack, so that's quite okay for Prince actually. But is it going to be enough here?
I don't know if it'll be enough. That Kaiserklein managed to clean up all the coyote. Those warriors are actually doing pretty well though. To be
Yeah, they're pretty awesome, and they train very quickly, even with not a lot of warrior priests. They
but
train so fast that they're almost for free.
yeah, but look at all he's lost. 6 villagers have gone down. All the coyote are gone as well.
Yeah, now even Kaiser sent 5 villagers, so it's just like he's got twice the amount of villagers that Prince has, and I don't know what Prince how he can follow this up. I have no idea.
Yeah, he took a significant amount of damage, and Kaiserklein behind this is just going to exploit his lead and get even more ahead by sending the 5 villagers, powering his economy a little bit. Prince of Kabul manages to push Kaiser back for the time being, but I feel like really Kaiser came out on top of that exchange, and from the looks of it, Prince.
Yeah, there it is.
GG.
GG. So quite interesting match this time around. I mean, Prince's strategy was something I haven't really seen before, especially with sending 3 warrior priests and then not even building a warhead, but just building a warhead so late.
Yeah, it's
But the H1 was definitely in favor for Kaiserklein.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that is absolutely true. He absolutely won H1 very, very hard, and I think he managed to use that and snowball it into a victory. Just because I also feel like Prince of Kabul may have been blindsided by Kaiserklein. It surprises me that he would elect to send 3 warrior priests right off the bat against a forward warhead. That's
Yeah, I of course he could not have scouted that warhead because his hero was dead in his base, but
exactly.
he could definitely have expected it.
Yeah, I think he could have also expected it. Maybe sent a villager or something for it to herd. But very nice timing out of Kaiserklein, taking the first map. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, definitely nice. He of course had the H1 advantage, but he still managed to play it out well. So, okay, so moving on to the next game. Not seeing a lobby just yet.
I believe that Kaiser is going to
Kaiser
restart
is,
his game. He's not
yeah,
online.
exactly. He's not online for me too. There he is. Okay. So, going to move to the next game. Let's just quickly see what map it is going to be. This is going to be Florida.
ESOC Florida. So now what's interesting is that the civilization rules kind of change up a little bit. Instead of forcing a mirror or a native civilization, what happens is that one of the players picks first. Let me look the rules up.
Yeah, I got the rules here. So if we want to know something like about the civilizations he has to pick, I do have a browser open for it.
Yes. And so, the winner of the first game will have to pick first, and I believe pick a native civilization. And the second player, the loser of the first game, will be asked to pick one of the three civilizations which are attached to that matchup.
Yes, exactly. So whatever Kaiser picks here. Okay, so looks like his recording saved.
Okay.
He picks two. Okay,
Sioux.
so that means Russia, Japan, or Spain for
Yeah, for Prince.
Prince.
That's actually a pretty interesting set of civilizations. I feel like for playing against Sioux, particularly Japan, I believe does quite well against them. But I have seen some pretty crazy upsets in that matchup as well.
I think let's see. We've seen Sioux versus Spain sometimes, and I think most of the time Spain come out on top.
It's
Against Russia, I think it's also going to be. I'm not quite sure. I think Kaiser must have some kind of plan because he picks this Civ, but
yeah, it looks like it. We'll have to see what Prince elects to go for as well. I'm predicting that he will not pick Spain. I think he's more comfortable with the other two civilizations. We'll have to see what he does.
yeah. So Prince is probably thinking right now what civilization to pick. Although I imagine he must have like prepared his best counter civs to each native civilization.
Yes, that one makes sense. This is a tournament where, looking at the rules, you can actually really prepare um, for the match, right? You know exactly what civilizations you can use against the first pick native, so that gives you time and time to think about what you're going to do, time to plan for that match.
Yeah, exactly. So um, since Prince has not picked any civilization yet, perhaps we can adjust the sounds a little bit. Looks like there are a few people asking about why the sounds are a little bit too low.
I'm reading
Sounds
that
are
chat
low.
right now.
Okay.
Okay, it's slightly, it's low, however balanced. So that's what I'm looking for. Unfortunately, my microphone is not the best quality. So what ends up happening is that I have to turn down the game volume quite a bit in order to hear myself. Well,
Okay, I see.
yeah.
But you can probably just adjust this in OBS, since it's they're saying all the audio is low, both the Age of Vampires and the voices of us.
Yeah, that's what I've adjusted that adjusted that a little bit. We'll see if that's a little better.
All right.
And yeah, so Kaiser.
Yeah.
AFK for a little bit.
It is, I think, Kaiserklein. Guy called Greater Gather said, "Please tell Kami to pronounce."
Yes, it's pronounced.
So, since I'm saying Kaiser, I guess that's the correct way.
Kaiser. I'm gonna say Kaiser then.
I think it should be Kaiser. So, looks like Russia has been picked here, so we can go into the second game soon.
Yeah, indeed. Second game of this series is being played out now. Kaiserklein is picking Sioux, and PrinceofKabul has decided to go for the Russian civilization.
I think it was to be expected from Prince. I think his best civilization is Russia, especially since he's a little bit more of a team player, at least originally. And Russia is definitely played more there than Spain. Of course, Japan could be an option, but since they are nerfed quite hard, they aren't really popular anymore. So
Yeah.
I do understand this choice for Russia. And of course, with the starting market and the starting 100 coin, I do expect to see some early hunting dogs from both civs.
Yeah, absolutely. You get that free market in Florida, so you can get those economic upgrades a little easily. Introducing these players though, PrinceofKabul down in the southern west position of this map, playing the green Russians, and his opponent, currently up 1-0 in the series, is playing Sioux in the blue, Kaiserklein, which I mispronounced once again.
No problem. I think we all understand who you're talking about, so should totally be fine.
Yes. What do you expect out of this match? I'm kind of curious. What because Russia would not have been my first pick against you, just due to Ruskets, how underwhelming they can be if the numbers aren't there.
So what I do expect is that Russia, with their block huts, which are like also the towers, of course, he can at least protect himself a little bit better from any Sioux rush or any Sioux cavalry coming in H2. And because of that, I think he should be able to hold out long enough either to have like a very strong H2 composition in later, or perhaps even with an H3 play. However, I haven't really seen like Sioux do their new things in the EP with the TPs and going some kind of economic route. So I'm not quite sure what all the options for Kaiserklein are in this matchup. So
Oh wow.
okay, already losing his hero.
Yeah, no kidding. This is the second version of last game where that hero gets picked off really early.
Yeah, it is of course because of this insane army Kaiserklein already gathered. The outlaw pistolero just does so much damage, and the blowgunner also, by the way, 30 damage but only 8 range. So this is just very insane H1. Prince of Kabul only picked up 40 coin, 100 XP, and the XP is pretty nice, but Kaiserklein gathered quite an army already.
Yeah, he has. You can see that with that 100 XP, he managed to get almost a minute on that first shipment. So that's actually pretty nice. Uh,
Yeah, that is definitely he definitely has that got going for him, but I don't know if he's happy with this H1 either way.
oh, that is for certain. There may have been a better way to play that out, or for that to turn out. But that Kaiserklein, deja vu. No kidding.
Yeah, definitely. Um, so looks like both players aging around the same time. Kaiser Klein, of course, doing the normal age, I believe. The chief he's doing. Not quite sure what it gives you, but um, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah. Well,
Perhaps you can boost your volume just a little bit while we are doing the age up.
during the age up, yeah. But like I said, the microphone is as loud as it'll go. I'll try to speak up actually and see if that maybe helps a little bit. Thank you for that, Zep.
Yeah, or perhaps in OBS you can change it, but looks like it's fine. But a little bit boost could help. Um, so yeah, what we're seeing here is Kaiser Klein going for placer mines also, and quite a lot of TPs, but they are in front of his base, so it's also for defending and not only for like an economic boost, because most of his villagers are not in range of his TPs.
Yeah, you can see those villagers on the mine actually aren't in range of that TP. You could have eventually taken these four villagers and maybe put them on the southern part of the mine, and then they'd be in range. But you know,
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe even make one more TP in between the market and the rest of the TPs. But I guess it's fine. It just gives him a good defensive boost if any push comes from the Russia player.
but this is pretty interesting seeing those TPs put down. And no, we're not talking about trade posts, but actually the TP itself. Um, I wonder what he. I wonder how what his build will end up looking like.
Yeah, and here come the first four Cossacks. One of the five Cossacks he sent is going to his hero to revive him, and with the rest of the four, he's going to scout out a little bit and also try to get some kind of raid.
Oh, look at that!
Looks,
Hey,
yeah, already
he's
losing
gonna
a villager, even a
maybe
second one
a
going to
second
be
one. Yeah,
lost.
absolutely. Two villagers. That's a for players of these of this caliber. I think that's a little sloppy. A third villager even.
Third one even.
Okay.
Oh, that's quite huge indeed. I mean, he's got quite safe
Oh
hunts.
wow.
So this is definitely not necessary. I think Kaiser was busy with getting the 100 food treasure.
No kidding, but that was not a proper way to manage that situation from the looks of it. I do not think that Kaiser Klein is happy with that exchange.
Yeah, now he's finally got the counter to those Cossacks, so he's going to run around with his bow rider, maybe pick off a villager himself. He should be able to do that if he ever scouts this villager, but don't know if that will happen.
Mm.
Five musketeers also coming out, and
Oh, hey,
perhaps
look at
he's just
that.
going to take him on.
Yes,
I
and
think he's going to.
these musketeers are as I was saying, these muskets are a little underwhelming if they're in small numbers like this, and those bow riders just eating them up.
Yeah, I don't think they even did any damage to any units. Only the hero, which still's got enough HP to run away. So
Yeah, look at that. And oh, these Cossacks have been found. Will they be able to get away in time? I think
I don't think so.
it looks like he will lose a few. Maybe it comes down to how many he can actually save. Looks like three getting
Maybe,
away.
Yeah, the hero only got 24 HP left, but he even run forward and tried to like kite more of those Cossacks. This is going to be a risky movement, placing a blockhouse there, but now he's got 10 musketeers at the place and still 3 Cossacks. I think he should be able to place it down. And yeah, this is what I mean. With his blockhouses, he can just secure enough hunts and mines until he's got a big enough army to take on Kaiser, I think. Only thing he should be worried about is Kaiser is going a3, and I don't know if he's got the timing right to actually do something about it. Perhaps he's going to play too slowly to punish it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Kaiser is going to have the time he needs to get his units out, and to accomplish what his goal with the build is. Prince is in no position, I think, to really punish the Sage up.
Yeah, I mean, look at where his units are. They're just defending all the way, so he's really not expecting an H-up or something because he's with 20 of his musketeers in his own base, trying to defend against any raids. And that's definitely what his plan was all along. I mean, look at the blockhouse here. He was definitely not intending to rush. Um, but okay, now that he's H, he's even adding a stable, so we're going to see some H3 play from Sioux against a quite powerful Russia, I think. I mean, by this time he's got a decent economy, um, also got steel traps and placer mines. So
Yeah, no kidding. These European villagers actually have the steel traps upgrade, whereas the Sioux villagers are limited to the hunting dogs. Um, is From the looks of it, Prince of Kabul is absolutely going to play this out in the second page.
yeah, definitely it looks like it so far. He did send 700 gold, but I think he's just going to make units with that. He really needs gold for mostly the Cossacks and also his musketeers. So
Completely agree.
first push coming. I think he's just going to use these Wakina rifles to make use of the range he's got to kite Prince a little bit.
Yeah, no kidding. These skirmisher units, these Wakina riflemen, they completely outrange anything and everything that Russia can put on the field in H2. Russia is a very in-your-face civilization, and these guys can really poke and abuse that fact. It's
Yeah, I think that's a very good choice. I think the best card he could send in this third age, and even when it comes down to defending his own base, with all the TPs, he can just stay behind them and be completely safe from all Cossacks and get such a HP boost that he can even take on the Strelets and Musketeers in range, I think. So,
Yeah, but hey, look at that. Prince actually managed to push Kaiserklein away. Um,
yeah, with 13 Strelets and even more coming out, so. But still, he did manage to save his blockhouse.
he has that's pretty good. But still, the range on these Wakina riflemen is going to be a little difficult to deal with. Uh, but then again, Kaiserklein could overextend underneath his blockhouse and can be popped by Union shipments. Big poor Cossacks.
Yeah, so if anything, like 4 Cossacks come out and he can effectively kite Kaiserklein, he can be in a little bit of trouble. But I think he should be fine if he's not too greedy with taking out the blockhouse.
Boyars coming down for the Russian civilization. So all of these units, except for the musketeers, have suddenly become even more cost efficient. Uh, I'm I'm pretty interested in. Yeah, look at this. Sioux is going to expand in this eastern direction and try to secure this hunt. I think it'll come
Yeah,
down to the Russian player being able to deny or contest this hunt. I think that would be a pretty solid strategic objective to go for.
I hope Kaiser will build some teepees in between the trade post trade route line, and the war hut, just because it's quite easy to build just 3 or 4 teepees there and get a huge defensive bonus.
No, no, yeah, absolutely, no kidding. These teepees in next to the town center, don't actually protect anything much. They don't help with the gathering either. These guys they're just not very useful, but Kaiserklein pushing forward once again.
Yeah, and this time with a little bit of a bigger army, but I think Prince's army has definitely grown more since last time they were fighting here. Especially the Wakinas. I hope Kaiser will build some more of them now that he's built a war hut, and I expect him to do so.
I agree. Look at you're entirely right. This Russian army is pretty scary actually. And
looks
look
like
at
he's
this
just
engagement. Yeah.
Just going straight in. The Wakinas do have the defensive upgrade here from the teepees even, so they're in a pretty great position, and I think Kaiser can definitely take this.
Yeah, look at those Sioux units just doing really well. Those strelets absolutely melted in the face of those elite axe riders. Kaiserklein cleaning up this army really well. This just gives him so much momentum in this game. He is able to, at this point, kind of get away with whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, I think pretty soon it will actually be over here, just because of this engagement. I think Prince definitely overextended, and yeah, he was even fighting a little bit too close to the teepees, and also like the timing just wasn't right for him. I think he could have waited a little bit longer and then waited until Kaiser had to really get out to get Hans, like here or something.
Absolutely. Perhaps he was thinking that he would like to trade with the GG. There we go. That is the end of the game.
Yeah, there it is.
Just really solid play coming out of Kaiserklein.
Definitely, and really not overextending when he had an advantage, and really punishing Prince when he did overextend a little bit, and that did secure him the win. So nice job by him.
I agree. A little bit of kinks in his play in the armor when he losing villagers up in the early game. I really thought that Prince would be able to capitalize on that, but in the end, Kaiser just played really solid.
Yeah, let's see if the chat has anything to say. Looks like most people are rooting for Russia actually going A3 in this matchup, or at least in this situation, because they just can't do so well in the second age. And yeah, we really saw that here. It was hard to break the Sioux army, even when he had the population advantage.
Yeah, those Sioux units are extremely good, and the Russian units just a little underwhelming, at least in the numbers they were in. It's just very well played out of Kaiser. I don't know. I think it's entirely possible he prepared for that matchup pretty seriously.
So now looks like Prince has to pick a civilization first, a native civilization. So is he actually going for the Aztecs, or is it just what he has got queued up for now?
Well, he can pick any native civilization that he would like. He can go for the Sioux. He can go for Aztec or Iroquois. I'll be interested to see what he picks on this map, especially. Like a no trade post map. I feel like you're maybe Sioux actually does the best here. I'm not sure, or Aztec.
Okay, so if he's going Aztecs, then Kaiser has to pick Germany, France, or let's think Brits.
Okay, so yeah, he lost Aztec. What?
Germany, France, or no, that's against Iroquois. Wait, against
Yes,
Aztec, it's Port India or Spain, right?
Port India or Spain. That's also pretty interesting. especially on this map. I feel like India is your best bet on this map of Pampas Sierras. But then again, Kaiserklein isn't exactly a big Indian player. I think. Yeah. See, I wish I could play India.
He probably thinks India is the best choice here against Aztecs, but he can't play it
Yeah, no kidding.
on a higher
I would agree with
level
that.
to actually like.
Spain
Yeah,
is
definitely, and
very TP reliant, so I think that the Portuguese civilization is his best bet.
yeah, definitely Spain is not a good pick here, and I think Prince should be able to punish that quite hard. So definitely, Port's the best choice for him just because his India isn't that great, and Spain no TPs. And well, on ports perhaps he can do quite decent with multiple town centers. He can like secure enough hunts.
Yeah, I agree.
Since there are resources everywhere on this map, right?
Yeah, no
I think
kidding.
that's even in the description. Yeah, it is.
Alrighty.
Spread over the region.
We will be going into this game, game number 3 of Kaiserklein versus Prince of Kabul. Prince of Kabul elected to go with the Sioux first, and Kaiserklein answering with the Portuguese. On this no TP, but still pretty resource plentiful map.
Yeah, there we have it. And also, what makes India quite good on this map is, of course, the llamas that are on the left side of the map. You can pick up quite a lot of them with your 2 fast heroes, and so yeah, I'm not quite sure how Kaiser is going to play this with the Portuguese. Is Prince missing a hunt, by the way?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking at. I think that we should read this game.
Yeah,
I have
definitely.
three nice hunts for Kaiser and Kaiser and 3. Yeah, let's.
Prince missing a hunt, definitely. So, as you can see here in the south of the map, Prince has got this one as his second hunt, and this one is going to be his third hunt. His first one is, of course, right next to his town center, but after that, he doesn't really have anything close to his town center. Whereas Kaiser has got 1, 2, 3 here. So, yeah, definitely unfair in favor of Kaiser. So, should give them a rehost.
Absolutely agree.
So yeah, going to do, I think, my introduction about the llamas and India again.
Nope. Yeah, indeed.
Once we are in game.
All right. Greening up, we have Prince of Kabul electing to play Aztec, and Kaiserklein answering with a Portuguese in this third matchup in this series.
Yeah, I do hope you have updated the score.
I actually have, believe it or not.
Okay, great. I always forget it, so nice job, man.
I just read the Twitch chat, and I saw the word score in there, so that was a good reminder.
Nice job. Okay. So what I was saying is that I think India would be a very strong pick here, just because you have a nice little choke in the center of the map, and people rarely go to the right island with a whole lot of units or their base. And on the left side, you've got a lot of llamas which you can pick up with your 2 fast heroes, so gives India a very nice advantage. But since Kaiser is going for ports, it's going to be a different story, and I think we will see his second town center actually quite close in his base and not really out on the map, just because Aztecs can be quite aggressive.
Agreed. I actually totally agree. India would have been one of the prime picks, would have been my prime pick on this map. Kaiser just doesn't play that civilization, so he has to go with his second best option, the Portuguese civilization. I'm really interested to see how this map will, what this map will give us.
Yeah, there are like really two options for Kaiser to go. You can perhaps build a second town center like here, or maybe at this hunt. But he can also just elect to go for right next to his first town center and next to his second hunt, and try to secure his base a little bit better.
Agreed. It depends on how aggressive Aztec is going to be. The Aztec is a civilization with many tools in their toolbox. They can be aggressive. They have that pretty strong rush in the early game, but they also have some pretty solid economic options.
Yeah, but I actually think Prince might be going for a third age play. Just looking at his deck alone makes me indicate that a little bit. He's got two of the Warchief cards in his deck, and he's got quite a decent age 4 cards even. So perhaps he's even trying to fight it out in the third age just because he thinks I can't go up against two town centers. But we shall see. There's nothing happened yet, so.
Yeah, nothing has happened yet. That deck from the Aztec player is absolutely one I could see fighting in the third age. I'm just really curious. I'm in for a treat. I just want to see what happens, what these two players come up with.
Yeah, and for Kaiser, his deck is, I guess, fairly standard. He's got units in the second and third age, and even in the fourth age, he's got a lot of crates in the second age. He's got colonial militia and Mamelukes, and I guess it's all fairly standard. So
yeah, this is a very
don't really
bread
know.
and butter deck.
Definitely. So let's see what he's going to do with it. He is now aging up, just a little bit ahead of Prince, but Prince is aging with the messenger, which means he actually ages up fast. So he's going to be up very quickly, and that does indicate not a fast fortress to me, because then you use the wise woman, and he's even sending villagers forward.
Yeah, so it looks like we're gonna have some aggressive options out of the Aztec player. He has a shipment ready. One of the best things about the Aztec civilization is that you can not only age up quickly, but you also have a shipment, that first colonial shipment, on the ground very quickly as well. So that's just one of the best plays you can make early game as the Aztec player.
Yeah, definitely. His forward villagers do see a hero here, so he knows he has been scouted. But still, he won't really adjust his plan to that. He's probably going to throw down a warhead once he has 250 wood. I think his first shipment will be 700 wood, because you really need that to get out any units. If you start with something crazy like 10 mazes or 5 fills or something, then it's really hard to get out villagers early on.
Hey, you know what's interesting to me actually is that Kaiserklein elected to not send a first shipment. He saved it, and he's building that town center right next to the first one.
Yeah, especially since it's the Aztec hero is of course right next to his town center, so he just really wants to get his town center up as quickly as possible. He did complain about his hunts a little bit, but in this case, both of them only got 2 hunts after their initial starting hunt, so I guess it's fine. And this one is easy to herd if he were on time with herding that.
Yeah, I think the last game was 3 hunts each. This game was 2. Actually, last game was uneven, but this game both players had 2 hunts. Looks like it does penalize the defensive player, but we'll see what he can make out of him. This is a pretty. He had 1 hunt in base, another one out.
Yeah, looks like now Prince is going to herd back this hunt, which is of course quite an annoying move, but totally fair. I mean, it's all within the rules of the game, but it's just quite annoying to play against someone who herds your hunts away from you.
I'm interested in what Kaiser has up his sleeve as right now. He put down a barracks. Looks like some crossbowmen are going to come out. It looks like crossbow pike may be his initial answer to this Aztec pressure?
Well, stable coming out with 700 coins, so perhaps a crossbow with some hussar mixed in. He of course does need to feel to attack Prince quite early on, I think, just because of his hunts. So I guess it's a good choice for him.
Pretty interesting. It looks like we're going to have crossbow hussar against what appears to be coyote, and then we'll have to see what the second unit Prince decides to send. If he does elect to go for the puma, he will have coyote puma, which is one of the quote-unquote natural counters to crossbow hussar. Cav anti-cav against cav ranged infantry does really well. So
yeah, definitely. Still, yeah, it would be hard to push into the two town centers, of course. So we will have to see what he's going to do with that, or is he just perhaps going to send another economic focused shipment just because he knows Kaiser will be with a small army earlier on and won't really push out yet.
yeah, absolutely. Putting up a few walls, I like this. Just hunker down, make it a little safer. He has quite a few villagers on food. I don't know if he's going to try to sneak in an age up. He certainly he may have the time to do so because PrinceofKabul is not actually pushing or even putting pressure on with these units. He sent 5 villagers and
Yeah,
3 warrior priests.
exactly. So he's going for a more economic route. Like I said, he probably doesn't feel any need to push out very soon. So he wants to upgrade his economic position a little bit better. And 3 warrior priests is just a very good shipment. It's equal to, I guess, 6 villagers in terms of dancing power, and perhaps a little bit less in terms of villager seconds. It's hard to say, but they're definitely very strong for gathering XP or making more warrior priests or even the attack dance. So
Yeah, no kidding. Getting quite a few coyote out on the map now. He's not using them though. I'm pretty surprised with this. These units are relatively fast, so you can at least put your opponent on their toes and kind of dance around. And in the meantime, Kaiserklein sneaking in that age up, and with the fast age, I think he'll be able to get to Fortress unharmed, really.
yeah, definitely. And even if he were to push in now, he's got a quite nice wall. So with 2 sets of Minutemen popping out, it would be easy to deflect the attack from Prince, I feel, even when he's got 26 Coyote. Oh, even got the card on them, so they're definitely very strong now. And the card is 20% more HP, which is quite huge. Looks like he's going straight in when he saw the H up.
Yeah, looks entirely like it. This is go time, and trying to pick up a few villagers, but these are safe. And going straight into right between 2 town centers and walls. This is a risky move.
Yeah, so 12 Minutemen now popped out, and immediately Coyote are going away. They are not really getting snared, so not too much damage is done by the Minutemen, I feel. But he is securing his H up. I don't think he's lost too many units. Kaiser only lost 5 crossbowmen and a villager, which is, I guess, fine. And now sent 5 dragoons, so he's totally got a counter against these Coyote. So Prince definitely has to make more units now, and not just the Coyote, because he's getting slaughtered otherwise.
Yeah, no kidding. But look at that. I think Kaiserklein pushing out on the map at this point. This is a move that surprises me. I'm not too sure what he's trying to accomplish with this push out. There are still quite a few coyotes on the map. Look at that, 27 coyotes against
27. That's definitely a huge number, but he's already got 7 goons out. Okay, so looks like he knows there are not too many anti-cav out just yet. He's going straight in again.
Yeah,
let's see what Kaiser is going to do here.
This army is relatively ragtag, and there we go. The Portuguese army is engaging the Aztec one, but everything gets cleaned up except for the dragoons.
Yeah, even though the dragoons can now just kite. Oh wow, there are just 10 maces and another 5 being made, so dragoons have to get back now.
Yeah, absolutely. Those Macehualtin coming out, pushing away the dragoons. In the meantime, Kaiser has elected to throw down his town center in this eastern portion of the map, protecting this hunt. Looks like he
The
will be
scout.
expanding in that direction. Yeah, but the scout does see it. That
Yeah, so that's tough. That's of course not really what you want. He's gonna get raided there for sure. Um, he does still have one portion of Minutemen in the town center, so a little bit easier to defend than no Minutemen at all.
yeah.
Yeah, and Prince noticing it and going for there because he knows that's just one lonely town center, and
Here we're gonna have like cavalry. Well, I should say coyote Macehualtin against some Cazadors and dragoons. Keep in mind this town center does have Minutemen available to it.
it does not have enough villagers available to actually shoot. I mean, only 2 villagers, so that's 18 damage for the town center. So not great defensive capabilities, but the Cazadors really cleaning up the Macehualtin here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice job.
This is really solid play coming out of Kaiserklein. I think he putting out the Cazadors on the map, that he knows that they outrange anything Aztec has at this point pretty well. I'm really liking Kaiserklein's position. There is one concern I have for him, is that he is on his last hunt. As soon as this runs out, he will need to push out on the map. And maybe that is when Aztec will be waiting for him.
Yeah, looks like these Cazadors getting caught out of position, but all the coyotes going after them and actually getting caught out of position themselves, getting snared by the hussars and getting shot by the dragoons. The hussars even upgraded to veteran, quite interesting since he's only got 3 of them, but I assume he plans on making more of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And at this point, we see, oh, the 2 organ guns coming in. Oh, this is very nice. A 4-unit composition out of Kaiserklein.
Yeah, and that is, I think, going to be what really motivates him to push into the warhead soon.
Oh, look at that!
If the organ guns actually survive.
Yeah, that is that's pretty interesting.
Oh, that's
seeing those coyotes.
That's painful.
Yeah. But at what cost? So many coyote died taking out those 2 organ guns. But both players just really trading hard here. But I think Kaiserklein getting the better trades out of this one.
Yeah. Prince does have now 10 warrior priests on his pit, so his attack dance is actually quite powerful. But he's only got 15 units, and I don't know what he can do against his H3 composition. He would just need so many more units to... Okay, so some Jaguars coming out from the big button, but even now...
I don't... That is
those
not...
Raccoon judges.
And
look at...
last 7 Cazadors coming out. To me, what the nail in the coffin is the Portuguese player securing this next hunt, just pouring in food into his economy. And with that, I think he's given himself all the tools he needs to tip the balance of the game into his favor.
Yeah, I definitely think so, and I think from here on, Kaiserklein will have quite an easy time securing a victory from this position he has now.
I agree. It looks like the Aztec player is simply just out of tools, no more army to work with. His economy is pretty strong. Don't get me wrong, but the thing is, trading just isn't enough. He needs to trade well, and that is not what happened in those previous fights. And yeah, these villagers are all just under fire. They're going to be harassed. Move, Exodus.
Yeah, and he still got his 11 coyote running around, now 16. Actually catching some hussars. Yeah, definitely nice job, but is it going to be enough? I would say no. He's sending 5 coyote, which is just not a really great card against Kaiserklein, who has got insane amount of villagers and definitely going to secure a win here.
No kidding. No. And there we have the GG.
Yeah, there it is. GG now 3-0 for Kaiserklein.
Yeah, no kidding. That was just well played, solid play out of him. Uh, what?
Not sure if I can do this. He's even saying, yeah. Not quite sure what he's talking about, but not won a game so far. So definitely.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that PrinceofKabul is not playing to the peak of his capacity. A very, very good player. No doubt in my mind about that. Prince is good. He's really good. But maybe some of the after effects of that sickness from yesterday still with him. I don't know. Because Kaiser is just doing really well.
Yeah, definitely. One game, let's go, says PrinceofKabul. It's of course a best of 7, so when you win 4 games, you secure your win in the bracket.
Well, is this match point? This is absolutely match point at this point in this series.
Yeah, this is match point. So.
We will see what happens. Kaiserklein does have to pick first, and maybe PrinceofKabul will come up with a better answer than he has previously. Certainly on the ropes right now. Checking out Twitch chat. Twitch chat is, of course, known as the best chat.
That is, of course, true, but I don't. A lot of the time, I'm just enjoying whatever is happening. So.
Yeah, I like the banter, but they also have a pretty good grasp of the game. Better than my grasp, anyway. Spain ports India. Aztec, Port India, Spain. Yeah, so now the roles are kind of reversed, where Kaiserklein will be using the Aztec civilization, and oh, Prince goes into Spain on Baja, California.
I think it's Baja. Not sure.
I'm actually unsure. I've always said Baja in my head, but now I'm not actually speaking to myself. I'm actually talking on stream to a few people, so doubtlessly Twitch chat will tell me the right way to pronounce that in 2 minutes.
Hey, so looks like Spain is going to be the choice for PrinceofKabul. Of course, this map. Let's see. Baja California is, I think, better, definitely better for Spain than the previous map we've seen. So, I guess he can do fine with it. But let's see if he can manage to take a game in this best of 7 between them.
Absolutely. Spain finally has trade posts to work with, so we'll see. I'm pretty interested to see how this game will go as well. Both players taking a quick little break.
Hey, looks like they need a second before the next game starts.
Baja, California, says Twitch chat. Good thing we had this
Baja?
2-minute
Really?
interlude. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it right now. Okay, so looks like I did pronounce it wrong. I think I
Well,
think I used to say Baja.
well, who are you sure that you're wrong? Maybe the guy in the chat is wrong.
Yeah, that could be the case. Let's ask for more opinions first.
We may
Looks like
need to
Kaiser
straw
is
poll
actually
this. Oh,
back.
yep.
Oh, straw poll, definitely nice.
Yes.
And
Looks like we're ready, by the way. So
yeah. Clicking into this game. Game number 4, match point at this point. Kaiserklein electing to go with the Aztec civilization, and his opponent has picked into Spain. I'm going to be very interested to see how this matchup plays out, because this one is pretty atypical.
okay, so since we do have now trade post on the map, Spain definitely does have some kind of advantage here. But still, let's see how many trade posts he can actually pick. Especially when Aztecs maybe chooses to build like a warhead here. So the center one is definitely secured then, and it's going to be hard to defend the other two, since he's most likely going to be fast fortressing.
That is one of the things I doubt the least in this game, is that Spain will be going for the fast fortress. Hold on a second. Did we not have a 2? Yeah, there was a 200 wood start for the Aztec player, and I believe the Spanish player did not get that. Only a coin start. So not able to slap down that trade post ASAP.
That is definitely true here. So not going to throw down a trade post very early on, but definitely in the transition to the second age, I assume.
And absolutely, both players picking up small treasures in the form of 60 food, 70 XP. Pretty nice. Kaiserklein has gotten the XP treasure before his first shipment, which is of course when you want to get them. I kind of like it. Kind of like Kaiser's start here.
Yeah, 30 coins, 70 XP, of course, going to help him. He's already got his first shipment underway. But of course, he is Spain. No hunting dogs for Kaiserklein, even when he started with a market. So perhaps building the market was for the XP.
Yeah,
It definitely wasn't to do hunting dogs. So
yeah, that is pretty interesting that you would put down a market instead of. I suppose yes, that he just had the wood lying around and that he wanted a little bit of experience out of that. It only gives 20, but 20 is 20.
yeah, in the first first shipment, it is like maybe 1/6 of what you need, something like that. So it does help a little bit. Okay, so Prince now herding his second hunt towards his base. Of course, he does need the hunts in his base if he's going to be aging up early on. Let's see, at Prince deck, it's quite standard. Only one military card in H2, so
Yeah, quite a few upgrade cards too for the
Kaiser
cavalry.
as well.
Yeah.
Kaiser 4 villagers in his deck and not something like 5 coyote. And I think I like that. I mean, I don't really like the 5 coyote card, but 4 villagers isn't that great either. But perhaps he will never send a 4 villager card. It's just a backup.
Yeah, I agreed. I've heard there's quite a few. There's a little controversy around the 4 villager shipment. Many people, it's fallen out of favor. It used to be that the British and the Spanish would absolutely love sending 5 villagers than 4 villagers, but now people have just don't like the shipment as much as they used to.
Yeah, definitely. I recall seeing that 4 villagers was definitely a must-have in any British deck, but that was quite some time ago. But nowadays it's really not popular, and I'm not using it for some time. Just like something like 700 coin, much more if you're ready to send 4 villagers.
Yeah, we have these forward villagers going to slap down a war hut. Did you check my food? Yes, I looked at the food beforehand, and both players kind of had at least 2 hunts near their town center.
Yeah, it is that this hunt is walking away from Kaiser's town center, and that's quite painful. Um, so that does hurt Kaiser a little bit. He's not really got great choices for his hunt after that one who just flared. Um, After that, he will definitely have to go to one of these places. Um, but still, this is definitely a fair.
I would say it's
Map.
fair. His hunts are hardly worse than Prince's, and Prince is the one who will be defensive. We'll see how this pans out. Just as yeah, Prince of Kabul going for that fast fortress, as we predicted, the very prediction of the year, really.
Um, okay, yeah, so 700 coin, of course, out for Prince of Kabul. He's got the tower in his base, so he should be fine to defend anything that is coming now, except when it's immediately 6 Puma and a lot of maces. But I don't think Kaiser will be so reckless. I think he will be a little bit more laid back and perhaps will do a timing when the H-up hits. But you never know, perhaps we will see a rush. Oh no, there it is. 600 wood first.
Yeah, 700, 600. I like this style of play. It looks like very often what the Aztec player has been doing. Pardon me, in this series is just open with Coyote and try to get something done with them, but also power send resource crates and just kind of work with that instead of going for these all-out in-your-face rushes.
Yeah, and of course, this 600 wood will definitely help him build a lot of units. His maces and coyote do cost quite a lot of wood, so it's going to be an advantage for him. And looks like he's just going to opt for taking out a trade post, which is of course a very secure option. You can take that without any problems. Whereas Prince of Kabul is aging up, and oh, even sending 5 villagers, so definitely going for a very eco-heavy route here. That's a little bit greedy, isn't it?
That is actually pretty greedy. I was just thinking about that. We have the 5 settlers coming out for Prince of Kabul as well, but Spain is going to be hitting one of their classic fast fortress timing, and the Aztec player will need to have the units on the map to defend that. And you know, artillery is a pretty difficult thing for any H2 civilization to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. And wondering what Kaiser will actually will do with the plan that he's got. He's now building a second war hut, but he's of course not gathering still enough wood to build a whole lot of units at a time. Um, Also not gathering a lot of gold for Pumas or something. So by the time an army comes, I
Oh,
don't think he will have enough units yet. Oh, look at this.
yeah, I saw that. I was thinking to myself, wow, this explorer should not be going down. That he should be sticking around for war dogs. And just as I say that, you've got the 4 Hussar and the war dogs coming out at the same time. That was a pretty gnarly pop. Excuse me. And
Yeah, this is definitely a good catch by Prince of Kabul. Not even any H3 units out for him yet. Didn't build anything yet. Just the H-up units plus the dogs he built from his hero,
and
and already taking out 10 coyote, I believe.
yeah, that's nuts. I mean, it's like 12 coyote have gone down for what is 1 war dog and 1 Hussar. I mean, that is an absolutely great exchange. That is exactly what Prince of Kabul is looking for going into this game. He has a pretty sizable advantage, I feel like. Look at this 1,000 wood. Wow, I'm surprised.
Um, yeah, definitely. So okay, so perhaps he wants to build a town center with it. Um, or just a lot of military upgrades and economic upgrades, like he doesn't have laser mines yet, maybe even artillery foundry. But I think one more barracks and one stable and some houses is going to be the choice for him.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm. That's a pretty good shipment if you can get away with it, and he totally will. He's going to be throwing down a second barracks, uh, and going for the skirmisher unit, which is a very good option against the Aztec players. With their short ranged units. Uh, I'm pretty excited for this build actually. Like because think about it, he just won. He just got a very good trade in the form of cleaning up all those coyote, right? Suddenly he has the room and the space necessary to kind of do what he wants, and shipping 1,000 wood just plays into that advantage really well. I absolutely love what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it does. But he still has got now 500 wood unspent of that. So I'm wondering what he will do with it. If it's just going to be houses or actually some kind of uh, other advantage he will pull from that. Because sending 1,000 and then not spending 500 is
Yeah,
not really a great way.
I agree. Something else to keep in mind is that Kaiser does have a stagecoach, which is a pretty sizable economy to have three TP stagecoach. I think Prince of Kabul is playing with a timer as of right now. He has to make something happen relatively soon. Break out onto the map and contest this TP line. I feel like.
Yeah, he's definitely waiting for two falconets. He built quite a lot of Waterleros so far, and even upgraded them. So definitely waiting for two Falks to push out against the Warheads. And I think the Waterleros are quite an interesting choice against the Coyotes, since the Coyote are only 0.25 speed faster. So Waterleros do quite nicely catching up to them. And with two falconets, he can also push into the Puma mass because he's got 21 Pumas, which is actually an insane number.
Yeah, he has quite a few. Kaiserklein has a pretty sizable army. Question is it big enough to trade into these falconets effectively? I'm not so sure. We'll have to see what happens here. This engagement is coming soon.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure if Prince of Kabul does have the mass, but it all comes down to the positioning here, since there are so many units for both of these players.
Yeah, those falconets doing so much damage, but I like the position of the coyotes right on top of the skirms, right on top of the falconets. The falconets are gone now, and at this point,
Yeah,
Aztec just has a huge, massive units.
he can clean this up so nicely, I think. There are not really a lot of Rodoleros left, and definitely enough Macehualtins and Coyote to take out all the skirmishers of Prince of Kabul.
Yeah, but
Um,
yeah, look at this.
look,
This hasn't been cleaned up. The Spanish army is not completely dead yet, uh, which I think is pretty beneficial to him. These villagers getting pushed away from those hunts. That's pretty unfortunate. Oh, this is not over by any stretch, I believe.
no, actually quite mistaken. I think I thought he would take out more of the Rodoleros earlier on and then go straight into the skirmishers with his Coyote mass, but now the skirmisher mass is actually quite
It's
dangerous.
it's pretty big, isn't it? No kidding.
Yeah, it's 19 units,
It,
and yeah, Kaiser saying
oh.
rip.
Yeah, he five lancers on the field as well. These lancers will absolutely shred through Aztec infantry. Those coyotes will have to deal with the rattle arrows. This time it's Prince of Kabul with a 3-unit composition, which I want to give him an advantage. And these skirmishers, they're pretty much untouchable as long as those rattle arrows are there to cover them. Th- This is actually really cool, pretty impressive English.
Yeah, definitely. Nice follow up by Prince of Kabul after that initial fight. Really got his army together, and shipping five lancers is working perfectly for him now. Wondering wondering what he will do next, seeing that he has got 25 villagers on food, only 6 on coin. I was maybe expecting, I don't know. Yeah, he doesn't have a gold shipment, so. But I guess it works for him.
This is absolutely stellar play coming out of PrinceofKabul. He's now just pushing out onto the map. He will be able to contest this trade post. And very soon I feel like he will have the army to contest these hunts as well, and Kaiserklein may just have to tap out at that point.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a lag spike there, but I hope it's over now. At least it wasn't in the middle of a fight, like we have seen before. And now Kaiser making more warheads. He probably thought, I can throw down a few warheads and then defend on some other place. He also needed those warheads to defend his hunts, but the warheads are just going down and not buying him enough time, I think. And I'm wondering what Kaiser can do at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I think Kaiser's out of options. He's been pushed out of this game. His last hunt has been effectively contested, and this is his last stand right here. GG.
Yeah, there it is. GG 4-1 for Kaiserklein. And I'm going to take a quick bathroom break so you can take over.
Yeah, absolutely. You enjoy that bathroom break. I didn't hear that. But yeah, that was a pretty fun game. Wow. I honestly did not expect it to go this way. I really thought that Kaiserklein would have just enough units to clean up the Spanish army, but from the looks of it, that's not what happened. We'll look at the military unit population here. Numbers never lie, of course. Yeah, you can see just, wow. Those falconets ended up doing pretty well, the royal arrows as well, and then from that point on, even though like Kaiser had the better economy, like you can even see it here. PrinceofKabul was really able to replenish his army faster, and then push out onto the map and exploit that. Really interesting game. If you want to learn how to play Spain, I would totally recommend checking out this replay when it comes out. Damn, that was pretty cool. Partie de Kaiserklein.
Shit, I have to get out.
Alright, so, hey, we have a...
Alright, I'm back.
Yeah, you are. Awesome. Like I was saying, actually I wasn't really talking right before you came, but I'm pretty excited right now because that last game was really cool.
Definitely, I think it was one of the most exciting ones, even though there was like really one big fight. I was still on the edge of my seat during that fight, which made it definitely a very exciting matchup all around.
Yeah, it delivered. That was a good game. And now we have, I believe, PrinceofKabul will be picking first, and he can choose only Sioux or Iroquois, but he cannot go into the Aztec civilization. So he actually went with Sioux from the looks of it, and Kaiserklein answers with Russia.
Okay, so we have seen this matchup before in this best of 7, but now it's turned around. So let's see what is going to happen in.
It looks like we're gonna have Russia versus Sioux again, and I'll be interested to see. It's pretty interesting how we keep getting the same matchups, but both players are flipping sides. Kaiser was using the Sioux at first versus Prince's Russia, and now the tables are flipped. Pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. But now, of course, each time we see the mirrored matchup, it is on a different map, and this time on Hudson Bay. So perhaps a little bit of a better map for Russia, but
are you ready?
Not 100% sure.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either. You have they're actually not exactly the same map, but they're both water maps with trade posts, with good resources. I like both of them. I'm really excited
for
to see
sure.
what happens.
Maybe it's not too much of a difference. So.
Are you ready to go?
Are you ready?
Yeah, I am now clicking in to the next matchup, the 5th one in this best of 7 so far. It's 3-1 for Kaiserklein, and going to see Russia versus Sioux on Hudson Bay.
This is going to be great. And we have the winter version of that map.
Okay, so, and also that means the trade posts in the center of the map are like, all 3 of them are in the center, so it's really hard to defend a trade post if it's not in your base, but if you have all 3 of them, you can very easily like take an entire route and get quite a decent economic boost.
Agreed. We'll see if if these players end up going for that trade post this game. Sioux in particular has some options in that regard, but I believe that Russia does as well, just because they don't have the villager shipments. They can send stuff like ATP. What kind of crate start was this?
This was, I believe, 100 wood start?
No, it was actually 200 wood. Kaiser has a house down and also with a second wood crate.
Yeah, so for Russia it was 200 wood, but for Sioux it's only 100 wood. So,
okay.
But what I mean with 100 wood start is like 100 extra.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
So, 90 food being picked up by Kaiserklein, very nice for the Russia. But since Prince has 80 food, it's not too big of a deal. It cancels each other out a little bit. But it will mean a little bit less downtime for his town center when he's gathering 800 food for the H-up. So.
That is correct. Sioux is just scouting the map. You know, this is the Sioux Warchief. You can go around the map really quickly and find all the good treasures. I'm pretty interested in this one, which is a villager guarded by 3 polar bears. Not the easiest treasure to take, but it's a pretty damn good one.
Yeah, the free settler, especially in that spot. I mean, for Kaiser it would mean easy herding that hunt, and for Prince it would just mean he can build some kind of proxy base there, perhaps. So definitely a nice spot for a settler also. But converting a polar bear, as we can see here, they start with 420 HP. But when converted, it's only 250. So high HP units are not as good to convert as high attack units like the Outlaw has, because all the attack is kept on the Outlaw Rifleman, all 40 of it. So definitely a high attack unit is better to convert than a high HP one like the Polar Bear.
Absolutely agreed. But both players. Oh, hey, look at this. Both players picking up big treasures. 150 food for PrinceofKabul, 100 wood for Kaiserklein, and now this explorer, however, is
This is a complete deja vu for Prince, I imagine now. As exactly the same thing happened as in in the second game, Age of Empires competitive game. He's saying, "Yeah, it's so easy to take out that treasure, that hero."
Yeah, no kidding. Age of Empires competitive game. I really like it. And yeah, this explorer has eaten shit. Oh well. Looking to the west here is PrinceofKabul. Just he has the advantage now. He can just pick up all of these treasures, no problem.
Yeah, definitely. I imagine he will go for this one next. He's already got that one scouted. And the next good treasure is, well, perhaps this one. I mean, you can put the scout in stealth somewhere, and after that, the 3 settlers, and that are all the treasures. Wait, did I say 3 settlers? Of course, the trapped settler.
It is alright. Yeah, look at that. Blockhouse going down.
Yeah, and definitely a good spot. I think securing a hunt and a mine, and well, I guess 2 trade posts, not entirely in range, but still close to them, so can get there relatively easily. So I don't think PrinceofKabul will be able to take like an entire trade route if that is his intention.
Yeah, no, I don't think he will either. But putting down this trade post, I really like. This explorer dying was kind of unfortunate for Kaiserklein. He had the was it he who picked that up? Yeah, Kaiser picked up 100 wood, and he also had the 100 wood in this location. He could have thrown down a train post, but that did not happen. So
It does mean that he's got a Warhead very early on, which I guess does help him with getting out units in time. Let's see if anything is in queue. No, nothing is in queue. So, okay, now 5 musketeers.
there we go. Putting down those musketeers, and oh, look at this 700 coin put in on the field for Prince of Kabul. Looks like a pretty quick FF.
Very interesting that he strung down both Corval and a Warhead when he is not even. And he's shipping 700 coin first. I mean, he's not really going to use his Corral if he's going to be aging, right? So.
Yeah, no kidding. Perhaps he just wanted that experience, or maybe he just wants the flexibility to build the unit that he would like to build. Kind of like Zerg, with their ability to just use what they need instead of just putting out random units. But I don't know. These Kazakh are coming in. They're trying to get work done. One goes
Yeah,
down.
perhaps he's also going to build the stable to like trick Kaiser into thinking he's committing to some kind of H2 build. Well, he's actually trying to get to the fortress age, but so far he's not really gathering enough resources to age up. He still needs to gather some of the crates up and gather enough food. So he has been delayed a little bit.
Yeah, he's been delayed. We have 5 more musketeers joining the fray over here. 3 Cossacks have gone down. To be fair with PrinceofKabul, he lost almost nothing. Just the Guardians that he picked up in Age 1. Maybe the most expendable unit that he has at that point in the game. And he'll be able to click up right now. So
yeah,
I like his position. I want to see how this turns out.
he is aging with the messenger, of course, which means a very quick age up for him. And for those who don't know, the age up to the 3rd age actually takes the longest, which means that the messenger is also most effective when used for the 3rd age. So definitely a good choice to age up with that. And I think Kaiser using his units effectively, taking down this trade post. I mean, he has not to worry about any units coming, so he can just take down this very safely. So.
Yeah, no kidding. I like the decision to take out the trade post. I mean, you may as well. But
exactly.
Here's something that Sioux has now that Russia does not, is the rifle rider, which effectively is a hard counter to the entire Russian army at this point.
Yeah, especially since the entire Russian army is like 14 musketeers, and well, yeah, 2 Cossacks doesn't really count. But I really hope indeed that some kind of Stralet army is coming out for Kaiserklein pretty soon, since he will really need it against the rifle riders that are definitely coming out.
Yep, 5 have been
Okay.
shipped. We have a few more in queue.
Yeah.
Looks like 3
3
in queue.
right now.
Yeah.
They are-
This is a cheat unit. Counters what it's supposed to counter. What's supposed to counter it, actually. Good against both cavalry and heavy infantry. It's really funny.
Yeah, definitely interesting. But it really does fit the Sioux civilization, since like they don't really have to make infantry, since they can counter most units with just a cavalry unit, and that does fit their playstyle, of course. So
Yeah, I like it.
it's not really unfair or anything. They
Oh.
do lack in things like economy. So
No kidding, absolutely not. Kaiser's getting a pretty good economy out on the map though. He's got the map control with these 2 blockhouses. He's getting a pretty sizable army as well, and he's just he's got the steel traps, he's got the placer mines.
I'm wondering what is coming next for him though, since he has all villagers on food right now. Oh, okay. Looks like he's just switching. He had like 25 villagers on food, so I was wondering
Yeah.
what is he going to build.
Oh.
But I perhaps going for more.
Dog soldiers coming out as well, and these guys are really tough as well. Dog soldiers, rifle riders. This could end up being a pretty interesting fight.
Yeah, dog soldiers can tank quite a lot of hit points. On the other hand, there's still a big mass of musketeers, so I don't know if this is actually cost effective for Sioux.
Well, the dog soldiers have been taking a ton of damage, but these rifle riders have been just raining hell on the Russian army without sustaining too much damage. And look at that! Yeah, the Sioux just cleans it up. That was pretty Sioux units, damn, really good.
Yeah, definitely a very nice play by Prince, catching that army there and committing to it, which he definitely, I think he definitely came ahead right there, and very cost effective for him in the end.
Yeah,
I was worried for a little bit because it was only like the 3 dog soldiers and the rifle riders, but I think I underestimated how much the dog soldiers actually tanked from the musketeers.
Yeah, no kidding. I completely agree. I was looking at the fight. It was like, wow, the ESO does not have many units, but they did well. And 1 villager going down to this raid, but these Cossacks may end up getting cleaned up.
Yeah, now the rest of the army is a little bit scattered. Looks like 5 Axis riders are next, so definitely a very good anti-Stralet unit. And now this composition is so scary.
Yes,
if only the hero was alive, then
it would be scarier. No kidding. The elite upgrade is coming up for the Axe Rider. I think that Sioux is getting to the point where they are able to, where their army is good enough and big enough that to keep the Russian army in check, and Russia will never be able to get enough units out to properly contest the map. This is looking pretty good for PrinceofKabul.
Definitely, and so he's going for a fire pit here. He probably thinks he's got some kind of advantage, but going for a fire pit is still an interesting choice in my opinion, since he's Sioux. So even if he puts villagers on it, I'm wondering if it's actually worth it in the long run. Even going for market, so definitely wants to go for a little bit more of an economic route. Well, he has got advantage, so has to make sure Kaiser doesn't catch him like off guard and gets good timing, because well, his army isn't that scary anymore now that Kaiser has actually repopulated.
Yeah, no kidding. A pretty surprising turn of events. I thought that Kaiserklein was, that Prince, excuse me, was farther ahead than he actually is. But as you pointed out, the villagers were actually not upgraded with market upgrades. So the economy of PrinceofKabul and his ability to make units is really hindered compared to the Russian player who has like steel traps.
Yeah, and placer mines and 40 villagers. I mean,
yeah,
and the trade post.
This is by no means over. This is just
definitely.
This is just cool. I'm
This is
really
very
excited for this.
exciting. I am actually going to see in the chat like if they're going to be rooting for like any one of the two. Looks like they're right now in the fight, in some kind of fight. So can't
Yep.
check it yet. Yeah, what is happening? I think Prince is trying to find some kind of entrance into to the base and the army of Kaiserklein. He's even got elite X riders, but this I think is too much to push in. If the musketeers going melee, that is very scary.
Yeah, this is that's quite a few musketeers right there. Axe riders coming in from the left and from the right, but just the sheer amount of infantry that Russia has on the field.
Oh, he's moving all his units, but I guess it's working for him. He's only got 14 musketeers left, but all the X riders are now dead, and then there's not really very hard counters to Strelitz anymore.
Yeah, no kidding. And Boyars came in during that fight and were very good. Kaiserklein still has a ton of Strelitz left. Some Kazakh coming in as well, and these musketeers are just keep flooding into the game. Really, Russia's able to pump out their units, and they're in their comfort zone at this point. The Sioux player, on the other hand, looking for a good trade, but just did not find it, and suddenly it feels like Prince is actually on the ropes as opposed to Kaiserklein.
Yeah, this trade was definitely bad for Prince. Perhaps he underestimated the amount of units that Kaiser had. I also think even more popped out of the blockhouses just when the fight started, so it looked less scary than it actually was, and even got boyars. So definitely that fight wasn't so good for Prince, and now he's in quite a bad position. I think his eco is, I guess, fine, but his indeed, like you're now flaring, his Huns are scattered, and
this is
how is he going to defend against this death ball?
You said it. You said it right. This death ball of Russian units is coming in onto this hunt. This is quite a few villagers gathering food as of right now, and they're just going down like flies. Sioux is in no position to protect their resources. Got some Wakina coming out though.
Yeah, 9 Wakina have been shipped, but I think at this point he can just like keep walking into those Wakina, hit a wall or a corner, and then they can be taken out.
Yeah, these.
Oh, the Strelitz.
Yeah, no kidding. Strelitz right, eating the shots from the axe, I should say, from the axe riders. That was a pretty nice little trade, but will it be enough? It's gonna be hard to say. I don't think so.
Yeah, definitely. He already did some quite nice economic damage, so I think any trade from now on is going to be, any even trade is going to be an advantage for Kaiser, since he's got such a good economy, and like he can just spam out some Cossacks against the Wakinas as we see here.
Yeah.
Well, these Wakinas are just worth so much to Prince.
Yeah, they are, and getting pushed back a little bit, but still, just so many Russian units. This looks like the tipping point of this game, really. If this this ragtag army of Sioux units dies, so does Prince's chances in this game, in this series, really.
Yeah, definitely. Now sending 700 food, I don't think because he's run out of food, but just because he doesn't really have any other shipments to send at this point. So going for the 700 food, and with that going to remass so quickly again. Well, yeah.
Oh, I was just thinking to myself, does Sioux not have the big button? Because we're fairly far into the game. 16 minutes in, I believe that Sioux does have the Dog Soldier big button.
That is true. He's now gathering for it, I think, 30 villagers on food, and most of the time, after 15 minutes, it means you get 5 Dog Soldiers, I think, and then it's like some point in the time where it's just worth the most. I believe if you do it before that, it's just a lot of food for the units, but if you do it later, then the units aren't that good anymore.
Yes, absolutely.
So in general, around 50 minutes is a very good timing to send the big button.
I think this is why we're seeing Kaiserklein and not push his advantage more than, because at this point Kaiserklein has a significant advantage over the Sioux player, but he's not pushing the hunts. He's not pushing to the town center. He's not looking for the army. I think he's really being wary of that big button, and that just shows the mark of an experienced, good player right there.
Definitely, yes. Only thing I would like to see him do is just like keep harassing those villagers with a few Cossacks, since Cossacks for him are quite expendable. He can just throw a few one in there, maybe kill 2 or 3 villagers, and then they can die for all he cares. Whereas actually securing that hunt for Prince of Kabul is going to be quite an investment for him. He's either got to build a warhead or get units over there, and that's going to be hard to do.
Completely agree. And now, oh, Kaiserklein pushing forward. This army is outside. Oh, did the big button come through? I think yes, it did. And now Prince of Kabul trying to make something happen with this.
Yeah, positioning very good for Kaiserklein, right in between all the buildings, so the musketeers are completely surrounding the strelets, and the cavalry have a hard time actually pushing in, and I think Kaiser makes an excellent trade against the Dog Soldiers here.
Yeah, this is about as well as you could deal with them, really. Taking very little damage and just trading well, and that is the end of the game right there.
Yeah.
Prince of Kabul taps out. GG.
God's Kaiserklein to winning this best of 7. Very interested in the military unit population graph actually, because you can see where Prince really got ahead, where he really killed off a huge portion of Kaiserklein's army with only losing like 10 pop of his own. But then again, you also see where Kaiser had very strong fights 3 times in a row. Very interesting graph.
He did, and something else to point out is just the I think just all resources gathered. You can kind of see how the Sioux economy really lagged behind. This is in contrast with a game where Kaiser was playing as the Sioux, and he had those teepees up and tried to use that, the market upgrades as well. I think that might have been what was lacking here in this game for Prince of Kabul.
Yeah, exactly. So, but definitely a very nice matchup to end this series, I think. The last 2 games were just fantastic and really showed a lot of skill from both of these players. We really did a nice job also, I think, of pointing it out. So huge thanks for both of these players to actually playing out all these games and like delivering such entertaining content.
Yeah, these were some nice games. No doubt whatsoever about that. I'm pretty interested to see who Kaiser will be facing in the next round. Let me see here.
Yeah, me too. So that is going to be Kaiser is going to have to play against the winner of, I think,
Diaruga versus someone. I believe that Diaruga beat I Am Soldier already, but there is a little bug in the brackets which is not updated yet.
Yeah, he has to play against the winner of Diaruga versus Roy Turbis versus for Justice, so we will have to see. In the meantime, we can also look forward to Maito versus ASM, which is probably going to happen next week.
Yeah, that's going to be a great matchup too. Maito, awesome player.
Definitely, yeah.
Great guy. Izam, I can say the exact same thing about him.
Yeah,
this is going to be a fun one to watch, especially with these quirky rules. And then you've got like Azamk, who is known to excel in quirkiness.
Yeah, Maito just solid player all around, and definitely one that knows Azam's strategy. So he's a nice like counter to Azam.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think we close down the stream now, and we will see you back next week.
Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. This has been a great pleasure to cast. Thank you, Ed, for co-casting with me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thank you, Kami, or should I say Incog?
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure.
Call me whatever you want. You are free to do as you
please.
Well,
I guess Kami, since Kami is in my community team, so I feel more attracted to Kami than to Inkog, I think.
Yeah, it's the same
um,
guy.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
been awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. This has been a real treat. Look forward to the next series that we will cast, and check out ESO-Community.net to know when that will happen.
Yeah. All right. See you later, guys.
Goodbye.